You know that moment when you're sitting right next to someone you love, close enough to touch them, and you feel completely, utterly alone. Not the kind of alone that comes from being in an empty room. The kind that sneaks up on you in a crowded space, at dinner, on the couch, in bed at night while they're sleeping 3 inches away from you. And your mind starts doing that thing. Why does this feel so off? Is this just what happens after a while? Did I do something wrong, or is this just us now? Why can't I explain what I'm missing when nothing is technically broken? Here's the thing most people never get told. A woman doesn't fall out of love because the relationship got boring. She starts to disappear emotionally because she stopped feeling like she was being truly seen. And there's something specific, something almost no one names directly, that hurts her more than being ignored, more than silence, more than distance, more than an argument that goes too loud. It's being seen, but not understood. It's being heard, but not felt. It's the quiet, creeping realization that the person across from her knows all her facts, but none of her depths. You're not failing at love. This isn't a sign that you chose the wrong person. This is something that happens to almost every couple who has ever mattered to each other. And today, we're going to talk about exactly what it is, why it happens, and what shifts when you finally understand it. Let's get into it. Most couples think the danger zone in a relationship is conflict. They think if we're fighting, something's wrong, and if we're not fighting, everything must be fine. But that's not how it actually works inside a woman's emotional world. The real danger isn't the argument. It's the moment she stops bringing the argument. It's the moment she goes quiet, not because things are good, but because she's done the math and decided that bringing it up costs more than it gives back. What looks like peace is actually withdrawal. What looks like her being fine is actually her grieving something she hasn't found the words for yet. Because here's what most people don't understand about how women bond. Emotional safety isn't just a nice feature in a relationship. It is the relationship. Her nervous system is constantly, quietly tracking one question beneath every interaction. Am I safe enough here to be fully myself? Not safe from danger, safe from judgment, safe from being minimized, safe from being met with defensiveness when she tries to be honest. When that safety erodes, not all at once, but slowly, over 100 small moments that never quite got repaired. She doesn't leave immediately. She contracts. She edits herself. She gives you the version of her that requires the least risk. And that's when the distance starts to feel like a presence of its own, sitting between you even when you're in the same room. The first thing that hurts her more than silence? Being dismissed in her small moments. Most couples save their emotional energy for the big conversations, the serious talks, the sit-down moments. But here's the part no one talks about. Connection isn't built in the big moments. It's built or broken in 30-second windows that barely register as significant while they're happening. She mentions something that bothered her at work, and you nod without looking up. She shares something she read that moved her, and you give her a one-word response. She reaches for your attention in a small, almost invisible way, and she gets nothing back. What's moving through her in those moments isn't anger. It's something quieter and more painful than anger. Her brain is quietly registering, he's here, but I'm not landing. And the thing about the nervous system is it doesn't keep score of the big moments. It keeps score of the small ones. Because the small ones happen every single day. The disconnecting version sounds like, yeah, that's rough, while scrolling. The connecting version sounds like putting the phone down and saying, wait, what did they actually say to you? Not because you have to, because she matters enough to pause for. And when you do that consistently, something in her nervous system starts to relax in a way she can't fully explain. The walls between you start coming down without either of you having to announce it. The second thing, being heard but not held in it. Most people in relationships have learned to listen. What most haven't learned is how to be present inside someone else's experience long enough that they actually feel accompanied in it. There's a difference between hearing someone's pain and sitting inside it with them. She can feel the difference immediately, even if she can't name it. When she's telling you something hard and your first instinct is to solve it, reassure her, or move past it, her nervous system reads that as, this is too much for him, and she files that information away. She learns to carry it alone. The deeper truth is that what she's almost never asking for is a solution. What she's asking for is for someone to stay in the hard feeling with her long enough that she doesn't feel like she's the only one carrying it. That's it. That's the whole thing. Disconnecting version. I'm sure it'll work out. You always figure it out. Connecting version. That sounds really heavy. What's the part that's bothering you most? Same moment, completely different emotional outcome. Something in her shifts when she realizes you're not trying to fix her. You're trying to understand her. She stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. The third thing, being corrected instead of curiosity being offered. Here's the one most couples never figure out. When she brings something emotional to you, a fear, a feeling, a frustration, and your first response is to fact-check it, correct the logic, or explain why she shouldn't feel that way, the message her nervous system receives isn't, "He's being rational." The message is, "My feelings are wrong here." Not louder conversations, not more reasonable arguments, not pointing out where her thinking isn't accurate, but two people where one can say, "I feel like you've been distant lately," and the other's first response is genuine curiosity, not defense. Most couples treat emotional conversations like debates to be won. Emotionally available partners treat them like maps, something to explore together, not a position to dismantle. The internal monologue running through her when you correct her feelings sounds like, "I have to be careful about what I say in front of him." The internal monologue when you meet her with curiosity sounds like, "I can actually bring him the real version of what's happening in me." And here's what changes everything. That second version, that's when she stops editing herself. That's when you get all of her, not just the parts she's decided are safe to share. The fourth thing, being an afterthought in the moments she needed to feel chosen. This one is subtle. Most people in relationships would never describe themselves as making their partner feel like an afterthought. But intention and impact aren't the same thing. You can love someone deeply and still make them feel like they come after everything else on a long list. She doesn't need grand gestures. She needs something much harder and much more meaningful than that. She needs to feel like when you had a choice between her and something else, even something small, you chose her. Not every time, but enough times that it registers as a pattern. The disconnecting version is never about dramatic neglect. It's quieter than that. It's choosing the phone over the conversation she was trying to start. It's making plans and mentioning her as a logistical detail. It's being present in the room, but absent in the moment. Her brain is registering something very specific in those instances. I'm somewhere in his life, but not at the center of it. And that feeling compounds quietly over months until it becomes the emotional backdrop of the entire relationship. The connecting version isn't a grand overhaul. It's looking up. It's saying, "Tell me more about that," when you could have let it drop. It's the 30-second moment where she can feel that you actually wanted to be there with her, not just near her. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like maintenance into one that feels like a choice being made every day. The fifth thing, feeling like she has to manage how her full self lands on you. This is the deepest one, and it's the one she'll almost never say out loud, because saying it out loud requires a level of vulnerability that the pattern itself has already made feel unsafe. When a woman starts to feel like she has to shrink, soften, or pre-edit herself before bringing something real to you, when she starts calculating, "Is this too much?" or "Will this start something?" before she speaks, something fundamental shifts inside her. She stops feeling like a partner. She starts feeling like a guest in her own relationship, trying not to take up too much space. Emotional distance in a relationship isn't like a wall. It's like scar tissue. It forms slowly over 100 small moments that never got repaired. And it's almost invisible until one day you press on it and realize how much has been quietly building there. The most painful part? She doesn't want to leave. She wants to come back. She's hoping that something shifts enough that she can bring all of herself back into the room and not feel like she has to brace for impact. The internal monologue of a woman who feels genuinely safe with her partner sounds like, "I forgot what it felt like to just be completely myself with someone." Not because anything dramatic changed, because she stopped waiting to be managed and started feeling met.
And here's what nobody explains. You don't create that safety through a conversation about safety. You create it through thousands of tiny moments where she brings something real to you and you receive it without flinching.
That's it. That's the whole architecture of emotional intimacy. This isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to show up differently. And that changes everything about what's possible between you and the person you chose. When you understand this, you stop reacting to the distance and start responding to what's underneath it. You stop wondering why she seems far away and start recognizing the small moments where you can actually reach her. And your partner will feel the difference before you've even said a word. These aren't techniques for a better relationship. This is what it looks like when someone decides to become emotionally available on purpose. And that's the kind of partner almost no one teaches you how to be, but everyone secretly hopes they'll find. The relationship you want starts the moment you stop waiting for it to get better and decide to be what makes it better.